Okay, we're going to continue about Hogan here a little bit, and today we're going to talk about Hogan's backswing and what we can learn from that. What we do know is that Hogan had a great shoulder rotation. I don't think anybody's going to deny that. We also know that Hogan got the club shaft at right angles to his left forearm early in the swing. So when his left arm was parallel to the ground, that shaft was always at 90 degrees. He was never a late loader like I was. My whole life I was taught to be a late loader in the golfing machine. Late load, put all this stress on the shaft, and then have to spin out with my body to try and keep pressure on the shaft. Well, I made that work a little bit. You hit the ball pretty far like that, but you're never going to be able to hold shaft flex into the strike. So we know Hogan flattened the shaft through transition by taking the inside route. That's puzzling for people because the inside route usually means over the top, coming down steep. But we teach our students to do this. Okay? That's technique. Doesn't take a lot of strength. Doesn't take a lot of anything other than knowing the technique and practicing it relentlessly. Okay? We learned that. We learned to transfer the weight from the right foot to the left foot and preserve the rotation of the hips and torso as long as possible so that we can use those through the strike. So that's the backswing. Backswing sets up the transition, which then sets everything else to turn on the motor. The motor of the golf swing is really from impact up to the finish. This is where the bulk of the power is going to come from over here. Everybody thinks it's happening over here, but it's really happening over here. Okay. So a little bit forearm rotation coming into the strike. Got some power there. Get a little bit of the glide from the transition and the free ride down, as Hogan would talk about. We also know that his weight went to his right foot, although some will disagree with that, but you're wrong. Of course you're wrong. Weight went to the right foot, loaded in. I can lift my left foot off the ground and show that all that weight, 100% on the right foot. You put an extra spike in his shoe in the right foot, not the left foot. So the lateral move from the right foot to the left foot, and there's a diagonal there. It's not just straight across. So we've got to understand that as well. There's a lot of confusion about this because while we know that Hogan set his hands early, he didn't set them right off the ball. He didn't just cock his wrists and then turn. Didn't set the hands early and then turn. I used to think he did that too. But if you look closely, you'll see there's a little bit of that lagging away, the club shaft kind of almost going the other way as he would take it back, and then he would get it set. So, what is that? That's just technique and intentions. Having the right intention as to where we're going to put the club at the top of the backswing, that's the key. This is technique. So you can break Hogan's swing down into what's technique and what's the motor? Well, the motor's really going on over here. This is the motor stuff over here. And we've got some motor stuff with the forearm rotation coming into the strike. But mostly post-impact pivot thrust over here. With the right intention, we're going to take the club back. We're going to trip the shaft and come down. So Hogan's backswing is going to be here. And if I really want to take a big backswing, a big shoulder turn, now I'm going to move my weight laterally from the right foot to the left foot. Okay. Most common golf instruction is going to say, cock your wrists, turn your shoulders, get the club parallel to the target. Oh, okay, right there, right. Cock, turn, swing down, hit the golf ball. Easy peasy, right? But that's not what Hogan did. He had a different intention. Hogan had this intention. So we have to learn this in sections. We have to learn it slowly and methodically, and then we ramp it up, put the pieces together, and eventually we're in the conversation and we're going to start learning how to swing very much in the technique that Ben Hogan used to hit a golf ball. Hogan's transfer of weight to his right foot is very much related to the quick backswing. The quicker that I take the backswing, the more I can load into the right foot. If I take a slow backswing, well, it's easy to just fall onto the left leg. But if I take a quick backswing, then I can really load over to the right leg. Why do we want to load over to the right leg? Because we can laterally move, we can push off the right foot, start our downswing, get the club moving towards the ball without spending our rotation. We leave this closed, we leave the shoulders closed, we leave the hips closed, and we save that for later. Then we can go ahead and accelerate into the strike, and everything is helping us maintain and hold shaft flex into the strike. That's what Hogan did. Anyone that's trying to open up early from the top, spinning the hips and all this stuff, even in his book, he showed those diagrams of spinning. It's not what he did. I don't know why he said that. Maybe to mess people up, could be. But he certainly didn't do that. He did this. And if I go hard, you gain a lot of power that way. We'll see you next time.